Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It is 8 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I could tell that people are feeling angst, are feeling anxiety, and these are the normal thinking people of the country I'm talking about. The comments in my videos, other video creators, comments on other videos of other creators. I've seen this over the last, probably since Ginsburg's passing away. But it's part fear, and it's almost, I hate to use this word, I being in recovery and everything, I hate using the word hopelessness, fear, but that's what it starts to look like. All right, Trump goes full dictator. This is the main thing. We've been seeing this over and over. What about the forced sale of TikTok? All right, now I've seen the Trump supporters trying to explain this one away, that he's using his 4-dimension chess, and he's getting the best of China. For those of you that have been on TikTok, I have a page on TikTok. I look over the TikTok videos pretty much every day, and I know the information we put in there. I know what's on there. If TikTok is a threat to our national security, we are in big trouble. It's a bunch of teen girls bouncing around, older women complaining about the teen girls, bearded outlaw bikers supporting Trump, truck drivers. If this is a point of national security, we are in deep trouble. If you get on there, there's been more and more ever since Trump's thing with the military, calling the military losers and suckers, which he did call our fallen troops losers and suckers. Since then, there's been an obvious trend that's against Trump on TikTok, and we can see it there. What's next? Is Facebook next for whatever reason? Is it national security? And the thing is, and this is the second point I want to bring up, Barr, is Attorney General Barr, bringing up these old, like the Sedition Act. Basically, the Sedition Act's from 1798. They're basically going through this old stuff from past wars and past conflicts in America, and trying to find whatever they could use to stifle freedom of speech. That is what's going on here, without a doubt. Because these acts and these laws and all this are foggy at best, because they were made 200 years ago. And I think the Trump administration has found an ideal tool to use against freedom of speech. Anybody that speaks out against Donald Trump. Look at in Virginia, Trump supporters blocking voters to going into the polls, forming a line and blocking them. Not a word about that. Kyle Rittenhouse. A lot of Trump supporters think he's a hero. There's no talk of that whole crowd carrying guns. It reminds me of the brown shirts. One of the biggest thing that the reason I'm making this video is, I believe it was at a rally Monday night that Trump came out and said that it was a beautiful sight. He loved it. It was a beautiful sight seeing an MSNBC journalist shot with a rubber bullet at a protest. An MSNBC reporter, and you have to forgive me because I don't have his name right now. I tried to look it up, but a MSNBC reporter simply doing the job of a journalist. One of our most important things in this country is the free press, freedom of speech. And obviously this guy wasn't protesting. This guy wasn't doing anything illegal. He wasn't confronting the police. He was reporting. And Trump, at a rally, says that watching this reporter get shot with a rubber bullet was a beautiful thing. What line have we crossed now? Seeing anybody that talks out against him, any reporter, basically wishing harm and worse on reporters. I gave this some more thought. Whenever something like this comes up, I have to look into myself and honestly ask myself, if this was a Fox News anchor, if this was Hannity, and he got hit by, say he got hit by a car, say he got clubbed or mugged or something, would I find joy in that? Would I go on here and say, yeah, it's a good thing, you know, ha, I loved it? No, I honestly would not. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I can honestly say that I would not do that. And I don't think most good people would do that, let alone the President of the United States wishing harm on a reporter. Like I said, these are the things that we've seen transpire over the last week that is just, I think, it's not just me. I think it's a lot of you guys that are just like, oh my God, we are a lot further down this hole than we ever thought. Again, watching not Mitt Romney, Lindsey Graham and McConnell, just going back on their words, and it's not even about the Supreme Court. It's about the fact that these guys have no problem just lying, just flipping the way they change back and forth just for their benefit, not for the benefit of the country. I remember reading a book, and I can't tell you what book it was. It was on a dictatorship or a kind of a tyrant dictatorship, authoritarian rule. And I don't know if it was, they were talking about Russia. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know if it was North Korea. But they were interviewing, I think it was North Korea, and they were interviewing somebody in that administration. And the vote, they had a vote, like kind of a mock, you know, they vote in North Korea, but it's not really, you know, it's not a real election. It's just for looks. And Kim Jong Ill will get 100% of the vote. And the reporter asked one of these people, North Koreans, you know, why don't you just make it look more realistic? You know, why don't you make it 90% to 10%? You know, because 100% just isn't believable. And the guy in the administration said, no, we want them to believe the unbelievable. We want them to accept what we're telling them, regardless of knowing it's a lie, knowing that it's not believable. To break them down. It's a form of brainwashing. I've read this a few times, and I read it, I think it was with Russia too. They were talking about this kind of thing. And we see Trump doing that now with these lies daily, just day after day about the coronavirus, saying that the U.S. did best in the entire world. We have the most deaths out of anybody per capita in the entire world. With no doubt, we're blocked from almost every country, from going into almost every country. We've done horribly with the coronavirus, and every single day, Trump just spews out these. It's not reality. It is not reality, and he has no problem just continually brainwashing his supporters. This is authoritarianism. We're there. We are there. The post office actually putting all these people, the EPA, like I was talking about in the other video, where Trump actually is taking lobbyists from corporations that make pesticide and putting them into the Environmental Protection Agency. That is true. And Scott Pruitt as an example. Betsy DeVos. It's no secret that she despises public education, and she is in charge of public education in America. He did this throughout his whole cabinet, his whole administration. And the most ironic thing is that he platformed in 2016 about draining the swamp. And you look at this and look at the people he's putting in there. People that are from big corporations that are solely committed to making money and do not have the health of America or our best interest in at the top of their list. Again, I cannot conceive how Trump supporters can go along with this. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm still compiling stuff on that pesticide. And it's stuff like that I don't understand how Trump supporters can see this evidence. Even the Trump administration admits that they're allowing 50% more of this pesticide that the rest of the world is banning. And the Trump administration will admit to this. But they're saying, well, in small doses, it's not that dangerous, even though they're increasing the amount allowed. And why Trump supporters aren't even concerned about their family or their kids, cancer and birth defects. It's beyond, it's downright scary. But like I said, I could easily sit here for another hour and just name one thing after the next. Slowing down our mail. Even Trump supporters are getting their mail slower now. Their checks, their bills, their medications. But they don't care. They don't care. As long as it screws with, as long as it just irritates the libs. That's all that matters. That's where we're at in this country. That there's half the country that's willing to destroy what we have, destroy everything we have just to make other people angry, just to be a thorn in somebody else's side. I don't even know what to call that. It's a destructive attitude, and that's putting it lightly. Like I said, I could go on all day with this, but Trump actually talking about how watching a MSNBC reporter get shot with a rubber bullet, it was a beautiful thing. And mind you, this reporter was doing absolutely nothing wrong. He was where he was supposed to be. He was doing what he was supposed to do. Nobody could say, oh, well, he had a gun hidden or he ran from the police. No, he was just doing his job of journalism, reporting on it. And Trump delighted in this man having non-lethal weapons used on him. It's stuff like that. I think that is just seriously alarming the rest of the country, and I could see it in everybody's comments and other creators' videos that it's gotten to a point. We can either give up, or get up and fight harder. And I think it's the latter that we'll choose. All right, you guys have a good Wednesday. I'll be back with another video.